Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of BRG TV. Today we want to help educate you on the topic of radon.
Yeah, well, we're joined by our special guest today, John Hartley with Pure Air Environmental. They're a locally owned and operated company here in central Indiana, and the self-proclaimed king of radon, I think. So let's find out more on the A to Z of what radon is.
So I guess we should start at the top and answer the big question: what is radon?
Good question. Radon is a naturally occurring element in our atmosphere. It's actually listed on the scientific periodic charts, but it's decaying uranium. So uranium deposits that are down below grade in our substrate and soils here in central Indiana have been testing high. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, Indiana is one of the worst states in the union, especially the band in central Indiana, that is prevalent for radon gas. But it's a naturally occurring element that out in the atmosphere is at about 0.04 picocurie liters, which is the measurement calculation that radon is measured in. Inside a home, it can build up and accumulate to unsafe levels. So that's why radon is such a concern. It is the number 2 cause of lung cancer behind cigarette smoking, obviously. It's the number 1 cause of lung cancer for those in non-smokers. So radon is unhealthy. Long-term exposure can develop lung cancer, and that's the risk.
Wow, that's some great information. So how does it get into one's house?
Well, it comes in through cracks and crevices. Regardless of your foundation type, it's a natural gas, so it's constantly rising, trying to get on up, just like George and Wheezy. And it can come in through cracks and crevices in your foundation, in vent pipes, in sewer lines, all different ways. It finds its way in through the path of least resistance. And once it gets in the home, it can't really escape because we build them so airtight these days for energy efficiency that it just continues to accumulate to an unhealthy and unsafe level.
So I guess the next question is, as a homeowner, how would you test for radon levels in your house?
Sure. The only way to really know is to complete a radon test. And the EPA's got several different approved testing devices that can be used. One is a charcoal canister, which you can pick up at any of the big box stores. They sell those along with other environmental testing kits. Those are sent off to a national laboratory, and those are EPA accredited testing devices. We also do radon testing at Pure Air Environmental here locally, hundreds of times per year for residential and commercial clients. It's a charcoal canister that the client deploys in their home or office, and they leave that running for a 48 to 72 hour period, and then that's mailed into a lab on the west side of Indianapolis, and the results are then sent in a PDF file a few days thereafter, and everyone sees and shares that information, and it's determined if any additional steps need to be taken. The last type of testing device is more instantaneous, and this is prevalent in real estate transactions because we need the results timely. It's a continuous radon digital box that is deployed for 48 hours in the home, and then we come back and retrieve that, push a button, and it gives us an instant reading as to whether the levels passed or failed. With regards to radon testing, you want to be below a 4.0 picocurie liters. That's the industry-defined accepted level. Even that level, though, there are studies out there that show at that level of 4.0, that's the same as being exposed to 8 cigarettes per day. And if you are healthy or concerned about radon gas and your indoor air quality and your lungs over time, you wouldn't find that as an acceptable level. And if you step it down to 2.0, you're the same as 4 cigarettes per day, 1.0, 2 cigarettes a day. So we strive to get your radon levels as low as it possibly can be so that there's no negligible difference, if you will, between indoor and outdoor air quality. And in a lot of new builds, new construction with sump pumps and drain tile perimeters, we're able to get that down to 0.05, which outside is 0.04. So in a lot of homes, we've achieved that goal.
That's awesome. So I think from there, then, if your home fails the test, how is it mitigated?
Each home is different based on the unique footprint or foundation type. So regardless of whether you have a crawl space, a basement, a combination of partial basement, partial crawl space, or a slab, you have a potential pathway for radon to enter your home. So the test would tell us what the levels are, and then we would look at the foundation type and make recommendations on what type of radon mitigation system would work for this unique property. And that could go in a lot of different directions. A basement with a new build with a sump pump and a perimeter drain tile, we call that an up and out system. So we're merely putting a vertical pipe cord into the concrete in the basement right on top of that perimeter drain and moving it to the outside of the home with a 3-inch PVC radon or a Sked 40 pipe, and that then has a radon fan on the outside of the home, and then that's exhausted up and above the windows because again it's a natural gas. Wherever the vent pipe terminates, it's going to rise up from there, so you want to make sure you don't vent that below a window on the second story that someone unknowingly could open that bedroom window and then have radon travel right back into the home. So it's just a matter of tying up the right mitigation techniques with the footprint of that home. If it's in a crawl space, then you're installing a perforated 4-inch drain tile on the crawl space floor, and then you're putting 6 mil plastic over the top of that and venting that to the outside with the radon fan on the exterior of the home. So the radon is trapped by the vapor barrier, and then the pipe extracts it and pulls it out. If it's a slab, you're coring directly into the concrete slab perimeter and then putting the pipe on the outside of the home and moving the gas that way. If someone is interested, say it's a nice custom built home, which there are many on the north side here of Indianapolis, and you don't want the aesthetics of an ugly radon pipe on the outside of your home and a fan. There's oftentimes ways to put what we call an interior system in, and that would be venting it from the basement through a garage up into the attic. Code allows you to put a radon fan in 2 locations, either on the exterior of the home or concealed in an attic above living space, because again, if that fan were to ever malfunction, it's a natural gas, it's rising, it's going to go up. So as long as it's above living space, it's still a safe environment. And what that allows the homeowner to do is protect the fan from the elements, so it's going to have longer shelf life or longevity, and aesthetically, no one even knows you have a radon fan because it's just vented through the roof just like a normal plumbing exhaust stack.
Nice. So that definitely doesn't sound like a DIY job.
Probably shouldn't. You should probably refer to a licensed contractor if you want to get the best results possible.
Absolutely. So say we hired your company to do something like that. What kind of cost are we looking at?
Base price starts at $825 for what I described as a basement up and out system. So just nothing fancy or exotic, just going up and out and to the outside. Crawl space jobs, those are the most expensive, and that's priced at $1 a square foot. So say you've got a 1,500 square foot foundation, then you're looking at about $1,495. You get a little higher outside, 1,800 to 2,000 square feet. You've got to bump it up to a larger fan with more CFM to be able to pull, and that can take you up $150 to the next bump up in the family chain of fans. And then you could have a combination that may involve treating a crawl space and treating a basement, depending on the square footage. Mm-hmm. So, but on average, you're anywhere from $825 to $1,500 will do most homes, 95% of the homes.
Okay, great.
So John, in my experience, a lot of people only think about radon during the real estate transaction because it's brought up during the inspection period. Right. But really, as a homeowner, if you don't have a system, you should obviously have it tested. If you do have one, though, is there some maintenance items and things that you should be aware of?
Sure, good question. Every 2 years, the EPA recommends retesting your home because while it may have passed when the system was initially installed, the atmospheric conditions are constantly changing. The subsoil material is constantly changing the decomposition rate. So what was safe today may not necessarily be safe in the future. So you should really test every 2 years just to make sure that your system is still performing efficiently and, more important, adequately. And if it does not, then additional steps can be taken to correct that measure. The radon fans from each manufacturer generally guaranteed for a 5-year period, so there's a warranty for the initial 5 years. Most homeowners aren't aware of that. Fans should last anywhere from 10 to 14 years, but occasionally they do wear out because they're continuously running 24/7, 365. So that is the only moving part on your entire mitigation system. So from an operations standpoint, that is the only failure potential. The calls that we get most often with regards to radon mitigation is just confusion over the manometer, which is a U-shaped diagnostic tool that is on the vertical stack in the basement, on the exhaust system, or in the garage. And that is just a pressure reading. So you'll see an oil-based liquid in that U-shaped manometer, and it should be offset. Doesn't matter how high it is offset or how low, it just needs to be offset. If it is flatlined and equal on both sides, that means there's no pressure moving through the pipe, which essentially means your fan is inoperable, and then call us and there's a couple of things that we can troubleshoot or walk you through as a homeowner that you can check, such as your circuit breaker to make sure that the circuit is firing as it should. There should be a disconnect switch on the outside within line of sight of the radon fan. Sometimes kids can be drawn to that red lever and put it in the off position, so that's a real easy fix. And then sometimes the tube on the manometer itself can come out of the vertical stack pipe, and that would give you a false reading as well. So those three things are real quick and easy that a homeowner can correct on their own, and we can walk them through that. But essentially, other than that, there's no maintenance to a radon system other than to continue to do your due diligence in testing to make sure that your family is protected.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks again for the wealth of information. If a homeowner has questions or concerns about their radon system, how would they get a hold of you?
Absolutely. Call Pure Air Environmental. Go to our website. You can email us at info@pureairenvironmental.com, or you can call us at 317-760-PURE or 760-7873.